Charles Barkley was right. The Denver Nuggets are wasting Nikola Jokic's prime, and it's starting to get to the Joker himself.
This is when you make your move. With Jokic sitting,
well, this is it.
Go for the kill now.
That's what we've been saying, yeah.
Build the big lead now.
You have to win these minutes without Jokic in the game, without Steph in the game, Jimmy Butler.
61 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. The highest scoring triple-double in league history, and Denver still lost.
Yeah. Man, he took an L.
Take another sip.
Took an L.
Take another sip.
Hey,
take another sip,
I know what
dog.
you thinking. I know you thinking the same thing I'm thinking about that game.
It's fucked up, dog. It's fucked up. It's gonna be fucked up. It's gonna be fucked up.
This is gonna be
this is
the best numbers in the history of the game to not get the MVP, dog.
Now that game is a perfect summary for what's happening to Jokic this season. He's having the most legendary NBA season ever, but he's not getting the respect he deserves because the Nuggets aren't pulling their weight. Do you think we'd be having any debates about this season's MVP if not for where the Nuggets stand in the league? How much more respect would Jokic get for what he's doing this season if the Nuggets had OKC's win record? We are starting to get used to Nikola Jokic's ridiculous numbers this season, averaging 30 points, 12.8 rebounds, 10.2 assists, and 1.8 steals per game, with shooting splits of 58% from the field, 41% from three, and 80% from the free throw line should not be possible. The Serbian is not only dominating the paint, he's also running the offense, hitting step-back threes, and picking pockets like a guard. No center has ever been this good, including Shaq, who said this the other day.
2001 Shaq, 2025 Jokic, what happens?
Slavian chicken, wherever he's from.
Wait, what?
Slovenian chicken?
Slovenian chicken.
Really?
You tear him up?
Yeah.
What's your stat line? What's his stat line into the night?
I'm
Serbia,
40.
by the way.
I'm getting 40, and they're going to have to double me. And he probably going to pick and pop and take me all that, but he probably won't be in the game while, because after he shoot the three, I'm running right to the middle lane, and the whole arena going to yell 3 seconds, and we'll see. And I'm going to hit way more twos than you hit threes, guarantee you that.
I just don't think they would ever match.
I want to see it. I wish I could see it.
And
They're not putting Aaron Gordon on him.
And I'm going to make his brothers want to fight me, because the first play of the game, elbows.
The fact is, right now the Joker is top 5 in Big 3 stats, and no one's done that since the 1969-70 season. And to think he's still top 15 in steals, that's wild for a 7-footer. But the more we dig into the number, the more ridiculous it gets. The Joker has made 11.8 field goals per game out of 20.3 attempts, including 1.4 threes out of 3.4 attempts. His true shooting percentage sits at an absurd 65.9%, meaning he's been incredibly efficient. He's already notched 27 triple-doubles this season, more than any of his previous MVP years, and he's on pace to finish with over 2,000 points, 800 rebounds, and 600 assists, numbers that would make him the only center in NBA history to hit that mark 3 times. This isn't normal, and we might never see it again. I mean, just look at what he's doing to the record books. At the start of April, Jokic dropped a 61-point, 10-rebound, 10-assist triple-double against the Timberwolves, the highest-scoring triple-double in NBA history. He had 31 points, 21 rebounds, 22 assists versus the Spurs, making him the first player ever to record a triple-double-double in a single game. That's the definition of legendary, and yet even centers who've been legendary in the past weren't doing any of this. Let me explain.
Yeah.
Just everything, P. I'm talking about he touching everything in the game, bro.
Yeah,
bro,
for
he's gonna
sure,
go down as one of the greatest centers, bro. Straight up, because he's dominating his time.
Among centers, Jokic is dropping 30 points per game. That's more than Joel Embiid's 25.5 this season. Plus, it's also better than Shaquille O'Neal's 29.7 in his 2000 MVP year. As for the rebounds, Jokic has 12.8 per game, second only to Domantas Sabonis' 13.2. Players like Dennis Rodman, who was great at rebounding, averaged 14.6 rebounds in his 1991-92 peak. Jokic is just a couple boards shy of that, and we all know Rodman wasn't dishing dimes or scoring 30. Next is the assists, and Jokic is first among centers. Back in the 1967-68 season, Wilt Chamberlain led the league with 8.6 assists, and that was special. So, what are we even going to say about Joker's 10 assists? Now, oftentimes people talk about how Jokic doesn't do anything defensively, but at 1.8 steals per game, first among centers again, and ahead of Anthony Davis's 1.3, that narrative needs to stop. Yes, he's not the best defender, but he's not as bad defensively as people like to say. Even the legend Hakeem Olajuwon averaged 1.7 steals over the span of his career. Even at his peak at 2.6 in 1988-89, he's still not miles ahead of the Joker. The fact is, nobody is doing it like the Joker. Not Wilt, not Hakeem, and not Shaq. And so far this season, he's been like a mashup of a point guard, a sniper, and a tank into one goofy, unstoppable package.
I hit like Wilt-like numbers. How do you not give him the MVP, dog? He's the best player in the league. Like, it's not making sense right now, dog.
If you put up the definition.
God damn. 61, 10, and 10. That's hard. That's hard. Dog. That's hard.
Jokic's mind-blowing numbers get overlooked every day for one reason and one reason only: the Denver Nuggets. You see, the Nuggets are basically the Nikola Jokic show. When he's on the floor, their net rating is a ridiculous plus 24.4 points per 100 possessions. But once he sits, it's a brutal negative 19.3. That is a massive 43.7 point swing, the biggest in the league. He's missed 7 games this season, and they've gone 3-4 in those games. For context, you can compare Jokic this season to LeBron James in 2006-2007 with the Cavs, when he averaged 25.7 points, 8.6 rebounds, and 8.1 assists. Jokic has more points than LeBron, way more boards, and better passing, all while his team's supporting cast is arguably worse than LeBron's. And speaking of LeBron, even he wasn't Joker level good at the age of 29. That aside, you can also compare how Jokic is carrying Denver to Allen Iverson with the Sixers in 2000-2001. AI averaged 31.1 points and 4.6 assists as he dragged the Sixers to the finals with Dikembe Mutombo as his best help. Once again, Jokic is outscoring AI while doubling his assists, and then he's cleaning the glass like a janitor with the rent due. These guys carried teams, but Jokic this season is the engine, the fuel, and the GPS keeping Denver from veering into the lottery. His supposed co-star, Jamal Murray, is sleepwalking this season with flashes of brilliance here and there, but nothing consistent. So far, he has 18.2 points on 43% from the field, 36% from 3, 2.5 turnovers, and he's missed 12 games due to a hamstring. Now, imagine if Murray was performing at the level he was back in 2022-23, when he dropped 20 points on 45.4% from the field and 40.8% threes with 6.2 assists. Imagine adding that to what the Joker's doing. If Murray were at that 2022-23 level now, paired with Jokic's insanity, Denver's offense would jump from a 114.8 points per game, which is 12th in the league, to around 118-120 based on their pick and roll synergy. Now, that's an extra 3 to 5 points per game, translating to roughly 5 to 7 more wins. That would push them to 52 to 54 victories, which would place them in the top 2 in the West. How about Russell Westbrook, who sparked hope in November, averaging 15 points and 7 assists off the bench during a 6-3 stretch? Right now, he's not only not delivering, but he's losing the team games. And to cap this all off, Coach Malone has been sacked after a 47-28 season. So right now, it looks like Jokic might also have to coach the team along with everything he already does. Nikola Jokic has been the best player in the league for the last 3 to 4 years, but this season is like his magnum opus. And somehow, he's trailing Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in the MVP race?
Man, stay do you, man, because at this point, I'm going to fuck your shit up if I'm going to sub you out. We up 25. Because that motherfucker Jokic is in here doing whatever he doing in motherfucking a half. He had 29, 9, and 6 at halftime. Like, and I'm saying, hey, Shai, man, look, you got 48 minutes in you because
team performance has always been a factor in determining the MVP. So even if Joker is the best player, he's definitely not on the best team, and that's a problem. Also, voter fatigue is creeping in, and it might rob Jokic of a 4th MVP he's earned in a landslide. But getting snubbed for the MVP isn't new to Jokic. What's new this year is the fire in his belly. He's showing way more emotion than ever, even when they're losing. Back in the day, Jokic was Mr. Chill, shrugging off losses like they were spilled milk. Now, he's fed up. Against the Warriors on April 4th, Denver's offense stalled without him and Jokic couldn't hold back. But of course, he shouldn't have to. Take, for instance, that insane 61-10-10 game against the Timberwolves, a double OT loss. He played 53 straight minutes after halftime, no breaks, and still, no win. And now that Michael Malone is out, he might have to co-coach the team alongside new head coach David Adelman. But why is such a team playing this badly? Coach Malone gave a hint on why that could be.
I think each guy's got to look themselves in the mirror and start coming to each respective game with the proper mindset and have some pride. I didn't think we played with any pride tonight. I really care. It's not my job to evaluate how they take things.
For instance, Jamal Murray was supposed to be Jokic's right-hand man, but he's too inconsistent, and maybe it has something to do with his late-night events in Denver. For Michael Porter Jr., he seems a little distracted with his crypto investments, tweeting about Bitcoin dips mid-season. As for Aaron Gordon, the rumor is that he's been pouring time into his podcast Gorilla Life. And then there's Russell Westbrook.
And this guy, somebody's talking about this is the best chance to compete at the highest competition. This is my thing. You got the best player in the league, clearly. Like, he may win MVP, he may not. But to me, it just tells me Denver is not serious. Since they won a championship, they failed to re-sign the players that they had to help them win the championship. They regressed in the role players, and they said, hey, we're just going to plug and play and just hopefully our best player can cover our weaknesses.
There's no avoiding the fact that Nikola Jokic is having the most legendary NBA season ever, and only time will tell how much it really means. What do you think people will be saying about Jokic's 2024-25 season after his retirement? Let us know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, watch how the biggest NBA MVP snub is happening this year next.